All right, good afternoon, folks. It's Too Much Gear Guy here, and today we are going to talk about the DEVOS Light Ranger LED telescoping light pole. For those who don't know exactly what that is, it's basically an outdoor light that you can use for multiple things, such as camping, um, overlanding, and even during maybe a power outage or something like that. But overall, this is a heavy duty light. It's not something you want to carry with you when you go backpacking. Definitely something you want to use for in the house, in the backyard, when you go camping, and like I said before, maybe some overlanding. But the light overall is a great product, and I didn't see too much online, so that's why I'm going to review it today. Alright, first off, this is a 360 degree light, as you can see here. So each side has LED panels, and on those panels is basically multiple LED lights specifically. So this thing right here is pretty hefty. It's got some weight to it. Like I said, it's not something you're going to want to go backpacking with. This is definitely something you just want to put in your car, or you go car camping, anything like that, just due to the weight. And as you can see here on the light itself, it's got multiple LED panels. Each one of those will light up. Each panel pretty much light up one specific area, and the more panels you use, the more area it'll light up, but the less panels you use, the more directional light you'll have, which I think is a really good feature. If you're at a campsite especially, and you're not trying to drown out one side of the campground, or your neighbors or anything like that, you can have it directly pointing to the area you want it to point to. Another good feature on this is that it can be used as a external battery. As you can see, it has a USB connection there, and what you'll do with that is plug that into a USB cable and then directly into any kind of electronic that accepts those UPS charging cables, anything from phone, maybe another additional light you want to use, anything you want to charge basically. So I thought that was a really cool feature as well. You'll see here it's turned on by this little light switch here. So it's got multiple settings here. I'll show you here real quick. That's the full setting. That's only 2 panels. Then it goes down to 1 panel. So definitely something cool about it. And I'll show you here. So that's all the panels there. That's 2 panels. And then that's 1 panel. And all that's done by that little button right there. So it is super bright. Another feature is that it comes with a telescoping pole. It's almost basically something you would use, say, for a camera, tripod, any kind of thing like that. It does come in handy. It goes super high, so you'll be able to lift this thing way up in the air above the campground or wherever site you're at, so you can get a really wide area of light. And with that, you can choose your levels. You can bring it all the way down to the ground pretty much, or you can lift it all the way up, and that'll help you disperse the light a little bit more or a little bit less. So another great feature on that. It also comes with some filters. When I first bought it, I didn't know that it actually came with filters or was an option as an accessory, and that was one of the things I was hoping for, was that it actually had filters, because this thing gets pretty bright. It's pretty much that really high crisp lighting, white light, and I really wanted something that would dim it down, even with like a red light. So the options you get are these casings, which I'll show you here, and those are red, kind of a yellowish orange, and then this is a, I would guess, orange. These two here Can't really tell the difference too much when you put it on the light itself, but the red, you could definitely tell the difference here. And I'll show you how that gets put on. So you just take red filter, boom, pop it on there. Alright, there you go. So pretty much stuck on. And here's a quick look. Red, same thing. And then just to take it off, just kind of give it a little bit of a push, and it's off. So here's the yellow, maybe orange, not sure exactly what that is. Same thing, just pop it right off. Alright. So the way this gets charged is it has a little micro USB port here. And then it has this little cover plug that'll pretty much keep that safe from, I guess you would keep it safe from rain, water, anything like that. It's not the greatest spot for it, but I would say for sure it's nice that they had that little rubber plug to try to keep water out of that charging port. Another nice feature is it has a little hole here which you could pretty much just hook up inside of a tent. So let's say you didn't have the tripod, you don't want to use that as a stand or as a light stand. You can actually get some kind of carabiner or S hook, hook it right through there, and then use that inside of your tent if you wanted to. And I'll show you an example of that. I just bought these little, I guess they're almost like a kind of a locking carabiner, but really used for gardening. I got these off of Amazon, really cheap, but you can see it has this little locking piece here. And what I'll do is I'll just take that, slide it in, and now you got yourself basically a lantern. And you can use that inside a tent and anywhere else you want to hang it, trees, whatever you find useful for that. But it is nice to have, especially if you don't have the light stand or the tripod itself. Also a good backup option, just in case the tripod itself broke, you could actually use this and just hang it up somewhere. Another option that they have as a accessory is a carrying case. So the one that it actually comes with is pretty rough, pretty cheap in my opinion. I've already made a big hole in it. Let me see if I can show you here. So I had to tape it up with some 100-mile-an-hour tape here, just because it actually comes with a basically a stake, and that stake basically went right through the side here, caused that big hole, so now I had to tape it up. But they do, and I think it was just recently released, sell a heavy duty carrying case for it, which can actually hold up to 2 Light Rangers. I don't think I'm going to purchase that, but they definitely had that as an option. Definitely a lot more heavy duty, so I would recommend getting that or finding another case online that would be able to hold this a little bit, or is a little bit better in quality. So I'll show you this light stand real quick. See how much I can get in here. So this is the light stand itself, and you can see it's got a couple lengths here locked in just like a regular tripod would do. Slides out, lock it in place. Now these locks, they feel a little cheap, a little flimsy, so definitely not the best quality in my opinion, but they definitely work. I actually took a little wrench and tried to tighten some of these bolts up here just to make it feel a little bit more sturdy, but that's pretty much it for that. The other thing that it has, of course, is stabilization at the bottom. You have these poles here. So what it does is tightens up by this knob here, and then it's a little awkward trying to get the poles and then figuring out which way it slides. So when I first got it, definitely had trouble, and you can see I'm still having trouble with it, but this is what it looks like. Slides down, got some pretty good ground coverage there, good stabilization. And then you can slide this back up. Lock it back in place. And then that is your stand. The other piece that it does come with is a stake. This piece here. Pole will go on this side here, and then of course this side will go into the ground, and then what you'll do is you'll just hammer it down. Also, a fairly good piece of equipment, I guess you could say. I didn't use it yet, just used the legs themselves, so I can't give you a 100% review on this little piece here, but as an additional accessory that actually comes with the Light Ranger itself. And I guess one of the only other things that came, and this came with the actual filters. So this is the bag. Now I actually put my Light Ranger light itself in here along with the filters, just because it's actually a pretty tight squeeze when you try to put in the Light Ranger itself into the actual carrying case. I think another thing that they could improve on as far as quality goes, trying to fit all those items in there causes some additional stress to the stitching, making it easier to come apart. Overall, pretty good piece of equipment. I mean, this thing will light up the night. It is super bright. All the tech specs you can find on the website. I'm not going to spend all the time going through those. But again, one switch, 4 panels, and then I guess the last thing I would say, is that it has 4 panels. So when you actually lower the setting, it goes from 4 panels to 2 panels instead of 4, 3, 2, 1. It just goes directly from 4 to 2 to 1, which I find strange. Not sure why they would skip a whole entire panel, but maybe it's something to do with the switch settings. But that's one thing I think they could have changed as far as the settings go. And then the last piece would be, it does show you how much battery is left, and you find that by holding down the switch, and it'll blink with the green light here. It's not really the best indicator, as it doesn't have what you'll see on typical batteries where it goes down maybe 1 light to 2 lights to 1 light to 0, or even colors. I believe it's just the flashing. So you have to remember what the flashing green light means. Otherwise, you're kind of guessing what the battery level is. Charging wise, charges up pretty quick. Again, not sure how long it took or how long it will take to charge this up again, but right now I've only had to charge it once, and I've used it multiple times. But again, overall, the DEVOS Light Ranger, great product. Definitely something you want to invest in if you're looking at lighting up the nightlife in campground or overlanding, or even inside as an emergency light. It'll light up your entire living room or whatever room you're in. But I would recommend this product. Definitely something you want to have in your gear room, along with all my 900 million other pieces of gear. Overall, again, I would recommend this product. I believe it's typically on sale for about $99. that's when I got it. And being that it's usually on sale, I would definitely wait. If you find it at full price, definitely wait for a sale, because I see that come up on the website quite frequently. Other than that, I'll be reviewing more gear in the future because I got too much of it. So give a like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.